So the Yankees have had 4 consecutive games postponed for one reason or another. I know that sucks, but at least you can't pull a hamstring if you don't play. Okay, baseball is back. I know I said that again yesterday, but this time I hope it's for real. The Yankees have a doubleheader today in Atlanta after the rain out yesterday. Gerrit Cole will be on the mound in Game 1, going for his 21st consecutive regular season victory. Aaron Judge presumably will be in the lineup. I don't know if he's going to be in the lineup for both games as they return him from the IL. They'll probably want to be a little bit safe, but the Yankees do have an off day tomorrow, but then they have 2 more doubleheaders coming up against the Mets to make up for that series that just got canceled. So the Yankees have a lot of baseball coming up. Luckily, these doubleheaders are only 7 innings, so it might not be so rough on the body, but you know, with all the Yankees injuries, you're going to be running some third string guys out there if you're playing all these doubleheaders. So not looking good. Luckily, it's against the Mets, who are not that strong. Ian Anderson makes his major league debut for the Braves tonight. Against the Yankees in Game 1. He's just 22 years old. He is from Rexford, New York, and he is a big-time Braves prospect. So hopefully the Yankees can welcome him to the major leagues with a nice ass-kicking. So, since there's not a ton of baseball to recap, we haven't played in basically a week, I thought I would use this episode as a Trade Deadline Spectacular! So, longtime beat writer for the Yankees, Joel Sherman, posted an article on the New York Post the other day that I found really interesting. I had seen this name mentioned a few times in the comments, but I really never gave it much thought because I didn't think the Indians would deal him. But Mike Clevinger. Mike Clevinger is one of the league's best pitchers. He's got some of the nastiest stuff. He's got a big funky delivery. He's got a loud personality. He's definitely a quirky guy. He seems like a nice guy. We've seen him on YouTube on Trevor Bauer's channel. Somebody mentioned in the comments that, you know, he's a kid. He's part of the baseball's youth movement. I think he's only 29 years old, so he's got some mileage left in that arm. And he's been exiled from the Indians for violating the COVID protocols. Now, that is obviously a very irresponsible thing to do during a pandemic. You're not only putting yourself at risk and putting the team and the season at risk, you're putting the players' wives and families and children at risk. So I can understand why the Indians wanted to punish him severely for that. And because of it, it's kind of made him seem a little bit more immature. But the thing about maturity is it comes with experience. It comes with age. It comes with doing things that you regret. Doing things that get a negative reaction. Those things cause you to learn and grow and mature as a human being. So hopefully this experience for Clevinger, being exiled from the team, being embarrassed, hopefully it's been enough of a deterrent that, he won't do something like that again. But it definitely brings down his price via trade, which is something that we all know Brian Cashman likes to go for. He likes to get guys at a deal. Look at Aroldis Chapman. When the Yankees traded for him shortly after he was suspended for domestic violence, they got him for practically peanuts. A bunch of prospects who really never did anything. But they ended up turning him into Gleyber Torres, and then they re-signed him. So Cashman likes to make these kind of moves where you can buy low on somebody who has a very high ceiling. Now, the Yankees have not been great at turning their acquisitions, especially in the pitching department, into stars. They've been better with turning nobodies into really good players. Guys like Gio Urshela and Luke Voigt and Chad Green. But when they acquire guys like Sonny Gray, they typically don't pitch very well. Jeff Weaver, I don't know what it is. But Brian Cashman has not been great at trading for pitchers. Javier Vasquez, if you guys remember him, he was traded for from the, I want to say the Expos, and then eventually he was traded back to the Diamondbacks for Randy Johnson because he just couldn't do it in New York. Yankees reacquired him, and he couldn't do it again. So there's something about New York or something about the way that the Yankees handle their trades with pitchers that really doesn't cause them to perform that well, let's be honest. Sonny Gray said that the Yankees tried to change him too much. He's actually gone on to pitch very, very well with the Reds. Hopefully the Yankees don't trade for him again. I don't think that'll happen. Yeah, so I would like the idea of trading for Mike Clevinger. I think he's only going to get more mature from this experience, and his stuff is nasty enough that it might be hard enough for even the Yankees to screw up. Another name the Yankees have been linked to is Taijuan Walker. He's a veteran right-handed pitcher out of Seattle. He is 27 years old. He has not pitched much the last couple years, just 14 innings in 2018 and 2019 combined. He's had some injury troubles, so he'll fit right in. This year he has 2-2 with a 4 ERA, 27 innings pitched, 25 strikeouts, 1.074 whip. That is down from his career 1.246. So he has improved. He's come back strong, which shows that he could be healthy. The Yankees could use some health right now, and they could use another pitcher. I don't know how expensive he would be to trade for. Brian Cashman likes to get guys that don't cost a lot. You hardly ever see him give up the farm for a pitcher. That's why I don't think the Yankees will go after somebody like a Marco Gonzalez, who is arguably a better pitcher on the same staff. He would just cost more. And I feel like the Yankees like to, get bargain basement deals when it comes to prospects anyway. They're not afraid to spend. We saw that they spent on Gerrit Cole $324 million. So when the opportunity is there, they'll spend. But when it comes to trading prospects, that's something that Brian Cashman doesn't do very often. So between the two pitchers, Marco Gonzalez and Taijuan Walker, even though I like Marco Gonzalez better as a pitcher, I think Cashman is more likely to go after Taijuan Walker. Either one of them would be a nice addition to the rotation. I feel like the Yankees are going to need a pitcher. We're going to see Jay Happ again. He pitched better his last time out, but then we've had all these games, postponed, so his rhythm is going to be off, and we saw what happened when he began the season with, a bad rhythm, being delayed in the rotation. So I'm not confident about Jay Happ. But we'll see what happens. I really hope that the Yankees would make a move for this next guy on my list, Trevor Bauer. We all encounter people along the way in our lives that we just don't like, that we just don't get along with, that our energies are just different from, that our personalities just don't match up with, and no matter what, we're just not going to like each other. We've all met people like that. Gerrit Cole and Trevor Bauer seem to have that kind of relationship, or lack thereof. They were teammates at UCLA, and though there's no specific incident that I know of or that I've read about that kicked it off, they've just hated each other forever. Part of that is that Trevor Bauer was the analytical kind of geek, and ironically, Gerrit Cole was just the bear who could throw 100 miles an hour and just, wanted to get out there and fire fastballs. Now, Gerrit Cole has transformed into the analytical guy since joining the Astros. So, maybe they can bury that hatchet. I don't know. But I would say that the Gerrit Cole and Trevor Bauer beef is the one major obstacle to the Yankees trading for Trevor Bauer. Now, I mentioned maturity earlier in the show when it comes to Mike Clevinger. I feel like Trevor Bauer has matured a lot. When he first came up, I hated the guy. He did that stupid rap song about his catcher because he disagreed with him on some signs. And then he goes to Cleveland. He throws that ball over center field after being taken out of a game. He's come a long way. But Gerrit Cole also has seemed to mature because he's embraced the analytics, the thing that, seemed to rub him the wrong way about Bauer in college. He's become one of the game's most analytical pitchers when it comes to spin rate and shaping his breaking ball and where to miss with your pitches and things like that. So pardon my just riff on the subject, but I think the two can work it out. I think that, as you grow and mature as people, there are people that I probably met in college. I can't think of anybody, but if there were people I met in college that I didn't get along with, I'd have no trouble breaking bread with those people now. Now, granted, it's been 15 years since college for me, and it's only been like 9 years for Gerrit Cole and Trevor Bauer since they were both juniors at UCLA, where this feud began. But time heals all wounds. That's a cliche and a phrase for a reason. I believe it's because your memory is not great. There's a condition, and I don't remember what it's called, but there are certain people who have perfect total recall of every memory in their life. And it's really hard for them to mend their difficulties with people because they never let go of that memory of whoever it was that wronged them or whatever argument it was. It stays fresh in their mind because their memory is so good. I feel like over time, if you have a feud with somebody, you can sometimes forget why. It just, you forget about the details, and it just becomes this presence in the room or whatever, whenever they are near each other. So, I feel like, maybe they could just shake hands, bury the hatchet, say, hey, look, I don't like you, you don't like me, but we're in this to win a championship. So if the Yankees made that kind of deal, I feel like Gerrit Cole and Trevor Bauer are both the type of guy who, regardless of their personal issues, will emphasize the importance of winning and put those things aside and focus on one goal. And the Yankees need to make a deal. I feel like Trevor Bauer, because he's a free agent, because the Yankees have made deals with the Reds in the past that have worked out well for the Reds, I feel like the Reds will be willing to deal willing to deal with the Yankees. I don't know. I'm not Brian Cashman. I'm not in his shoes, but I feel like those two men, being athletes who prioritize winning, should be able to come to some kind of an agreement. I will see you after the games today for a recap. Haven't decided if I'm going to do one post game or two. I'll probably do two. I've got a little time today, but I'll see you then. Hey guys, help support the podcast by buying swag from my store. Link is in the description.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It helps YouTube suggest this channel to other Yankees fans.